Well, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. It's Jerry Bear. Today is Sunday, November 15th, 2020. And joining me off camera this week is Amy.
Hello.
Dad is hunting, so Dad's not joining us, at least not right now anyway. Uh, so I hope you've all been doing well. I had a pretty good week. There's only a couple of announcements, and that's it. So the only two announcements I have for you this week. Tomorrow is the 21st anniversary of my journal writing. And the other announcement is I've just been spending time with family and friends this past week. So it's really, that's about it. That's the crux of the announcements for this week. I don't know if I'm doing anything special tomorrow. Because it's going to be 21 years since I have written journals. I've been writing journals for all that time. I don't know if I'm doing anything special tomorrow. I thought about doing my traditional, like my book gathering where I've got all my journals and all my poem projects and all my stuff out on display. I don't know if I'm doing that tomorrow. I just don't know. I think I'm just going to write in my book and say, yeah, it's 21 years, and the typical entry.
Yeah.
Really not much to say about it. But I don't know. I think I'm very impressed with, having been a writer for so many years. And it was something that I really enjoyed, and I stuck with it for all this time.
I think that was Dad.
Yeah, because that was really close. That gunshot was really close to the house.
Yep, and it was right in our backyard.
Yeah, that was close.
Did you notice if the truck was out here?
Yeah, the truck's out back.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, that was really close. And if you can't hear, it's raining outside and it's really fucking windy. We're under a high wind warning until, what does that say on TV?
7 p.m.
Till 7 o'clock tonight. I was supposed to go visit with my mother tonight, potentially have dinner with her, but she told me if the weather is too bad, then we'll just, make it for another day. I want to go see my mom. I want to go talk to her and have a dinner or whatever, but it's really raining out there, and I guess where they're at up in Wademan, they're getting a rain-snow mix, and it's still very windy. Yeah, we're supposed to get the same thing, but she told me not to come if the weather's too bad. She says she'll understand and we can plan it for another day, but I'd really like to go. So depending on, because I know this is going to take all day to upload to my YouTube channel, and, I don't know. I might go. I'll probably still make a trip up there to see her. But anyway, I'm doing good. I mean, other than the fact that, the changing weather is wreaking havoc with my sinuses. I'm a seasonal allergy sufferer, and, cancer treatment, the chemo kind of did that, kind of fucked that up. So now I have to deal with constant, just my nose is running, I'm sneezing, I'm coughing a lot, bringing up a lot of junk. So this is typical for me, especially when the weather changes, because there's that drastic change and air masses. Like it was in the 70s and 80s, I think. Last week there was that whole stretch where it was just unseasonably warm. It was nice. We were spoiled for a little while, but then it just suddenly, it got cold, and then all of us start getting sick. But especially for someone who's a child, a cancer survivor, the treatment had liquidated my immune system to jello, pretty much. So I have a very high susceptibility and a low resistance, which does not help matters. So if I sound stuffy in the video, that's why. It's seasonal allergies. I don't have the COVID. And speaking of COVID, Amy was telling me before I hit the record button that there's a possibility that she may have been exposed to the COVID.
I may have, my sister-in-law, I went and stayed with my mom and my sister-in-law, and...
Hello, Dad.
Hello, hon. Oh, he's got blood all over
You
it.
got
He
a deer,
must have
didn't
got
you?
it.
Yeah.
You popped him. I heard the gunshot.
No, I was shooting at another one. I shot this one with Dells.
Oh.
Then it ran up the road and fucking car hit it.
Oh.
So fucked the leg up and the front
On 57?
Yeah.
Holy shit. But
I
anyway,
come up this way.
yeah.
I going up and get me some smoke
Yeah.
and fucking one right out in front of me.
Go clean your hands
One
before
run
you
out in front of
attack.
me coming across the road this way.
Yeah, go wash your hands. Go wash your hands.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, Amy was telling me that she may be potentially exposed to the COVID because of...
Okay,
Let's start over. Let's start from the top.
on that note, I went and stayed with my mother and my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law had went to an appointment where they forgot to call her and tell her that the secretary had tested positive for the COVID. Well, I go there to help with my mother to find out 2 days later that the sister-in-law was exposed to the COVID, and now I may have been exposed.
My only question is, how do you forget to call? Like, COVID is the big hot button issue right
You
now.
figure too, they called me the night after, to let me know the secretary had COVID and that it was going to be a later date for me to have my appointment.
Right.
Right away, I call my sister-in-law and tell her. Well, she waits and she goes and calls the doctor's office, supposedly to talk to the doctor, and they tell her to go get tested. Well, she's such a pussy, she won't go and get freaking tested.
Oh, my legs.
So now, it turns around to where I've got to watch myself to make sure I don't have any signs of it, and if I do, I got to go get tested.
Now I gotta hang that fucking deer now.
So,
Watch out.
whether you know if you've been exposed or not,
You gotta stay in here.
still be cautious.
Yeah. Because the thing is, too, they're talking about being asymptomatic, which I understand that, too. I understand that, too, being asymptomatic. But as I had just pointed out, too, being a seasonal allergy sufferer, I don't want for people to mistake this for me having the COVID, when all it is just the change of the weather making my allergies,
Yeah.
run amok. But,
Well, I wasn't sick until I got there.
yeah, and that's...
Now I've got the stuffiness and the lightheadedness.
Yeah, and my only question to that is COVID is it's a hot button topic right now. How can anyone forget to make a phone call and say, oh yeah, by the way, she's exhibiting symptoms of the COVID, and it's something we should take into consideration. Hello. I don't get it. Yeah, so if push comes to shove, I hope you don't have the COVID. A couple of my cousins were even exposed to the COVID. They're thinking that they might have the COVID, so now they have to quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah.
Um,
And the only thing I'm worried about is if I do have it, you and Dad coming down with it.
yeah,
Where am I going to quarantine at?
yeah, yeah.
Freaking people.
Yep.
And then my ma coming down with it, it'll kill her.
Yeah.
More stress on me. What next?
Crazy shit for sure. So I went to my cousin's house yesterday out in Middleton. It's a cousin I haven't seen in a very long time, and I went out there, visited with him for a while, and the kids were happy to see me. They have 4 kids. My cousin David, he's got 4 kids: young David, Brandon, Destiny, and baby Christopher. And I walked in, and I was talking with adult David, with my cousin David, and said, "Man, I gotta grab a seat, man. I can't stand for a long time because my legs they get tired, after standing for so long." He says, "Yeah, sure, go ahead, grab a seat." So I sat down. He was cleaning his coffee filter or his coffee pot, running vinegar through the filter, and that you get that strong smell of vinegar in the house. But we were sitting there talking about the old times, and it was a nice visit. I was there for like maybe 3 or 4 hours. It was a nice visit. You're not going outside, so stop. But baby Christopher, I'm just sitting there, at the kitchen table or the dining room table, I should say. I'm just sitting there minding my business, and then baby Christopher crawls up on my lap and he puts his head up on my chest. I said, "Well, hi there, Bubby," and then I start tossing him in the air and catching him in my hands, and he starts laughing, and it's like, "Oh, I think I made a friend, David." And he says, "Yeah, I think you have." But it was a great visit. Destiny was happy to see me, and Brandon and young David were outside riding a quad. They were riding a 4-wheeler. But it was a nice visit. I enjoyed myself, and David's wife Jenny come out, and she said hi, and we actually went to school together here in Chesaning. We were in high school together, and I think we went to middle school. The thing is that back at that time, Jenny and I never talked. We had never spoken. Like, we would kind of give each other dirty looks. It's like, she would walk her way, I go my way. And then, as it turns out, years later, she's my cousin by marriage because she married my cousin David. So, and then they had children together. But it was an awesome visit. I enjoyed myself. And before that visit, I was up at my cousin Matt's, where I hang out sometimes. I'll go up there and see the kids. And Matt threw his back out because he was trying to pick up a chicken nugget off of the coffee table in the living room to see if it was spicy, because he didn't want Sammy, to eat it if it was spicy or whatever. And just as he bent down to pick it up, he threw his back out, and he says, "Oh, fuck," and that was it. And he's still having issues with his back. But I went up there the night before last, and they're doing pretty good. Sammy wanted me to play GTA with him, and it's like, I don't know how to play this stuff, buddy. You guys are more, you understand this better than I do, and, well, can you at least watch me? Yeah, I'll watch you. And Sammy's only 4, by the way. And can you at least watch me? Come on, Jared, sit down. Okay. So I sat down next to him on the couch, and he kind of, I don't know what it is with kids. Maybe it's because I'm tall. I don't know. But they want me to sit next to them, or they'll sit on my lap, and then they'll kind of put their head on my chest. They'll lean back, use me as like a pillow or a headrest while they're watching TV or playing with their toys or playing their games or whatever. It's like, okay, you want me to... Now I know why you want me to sit here, because you want to use me as a pillow. Oh, okay, you're my little cousin. I don't mind it. But it was fun. It was a nice visit. And I enjoyed myself. I like going to visit family and friends. And, I saw Reese last week, too. And Adam, I saw him, talked to him for a few minutes. I don't know. It's just getting too cold outside. Now we can't hang out and go for a walk. They wanted to go for a walk, but then it was really, just blustery cold. And it's like, I don't think a walk is a very good idea right now, guys. Yeah, it's freezing out here. Yeah, it is. So we went back inside. They went back into their respective apartments, and I left. I went home, no, I did go to Matt's. I did go to Matt's after that. So I'm always busy. I'm always a road runner. I'm always going here, going there. And It's a lot of fun. I love driving around. I was going, as you saw the video that I posted to YouTube, I was driving through Ithaca, which is the county seat of Gratiot County here in the state of Michigan. It's where the courthouse is. I had a cop follow behind me. He didn't pull me over. Even after I cut the video and I said, you know, that's Ithaca. I'll cut you on the next one, guys. Peace out. I cut the video and I kept, you know, I proceeded to go for a little ways. And then after a while, the cop turned off and went back into town. So I didn't get pulled over. I think the cop was just waiting for me to slip up so he could have a reason to pull me over because, I don't know, I guess they were out collecting revenue from unsuspecting people. But all's well ends well. I didn't get pulled over. I just had the Gratiot County Sheriff follow me for a little ways down Washington Road.
And more or less making you panic.
Yeah, I didn't panic. I mean, I was doing the speed limit. I wore my seatbelt. You know, that's a cop for you. They like to, not all cops, but most cops, they like to instill fear into people. They want to, you know, oh, there's, and then you seize up, you tense up behind the wheel, and then it's like, oh, one little fuck up. He's going to put those lights on. He's going to pull me over. I was waiting for him to turn his lights on and try to pull me over for something. I was waiting. You know, I mean, I'm always paying attention to the road, but every so often I look in the rearview mirror because if he does turn his lights on, I have to acknowledge and I have to pull off to the side of the road. Because if not, then they're going to get me for fleeing and eluding. And I don't need that charge. I don't, you know, I don't run from the law. I don't run from police. I don't break the law. I follow it. So and any time I've ever been pulled over, I always acknowledge and I pull off to the side of the road. I have no reason to run from the police. None. My brother did enough of that in his younger days. He ran from the cops all the time. He would, the cops would come for him. He would take off on foot and they would chase him on foot. No, my brother was a model citizen when he was a teenager. A model citizen. He was everything I didn't want to be, so he did that much for me.
Yeah, he taught you right and wrong, huh?
He showed me the kind of person I didn't want to be. So I got to give credit where it's due and say, thank you. But, no, I follow the rules. I don't break any laws, not intentionally anyway. If I'm doing something that I don't realize I'm doing, and you know, that's different. But like if I do something and I don't realize I'm breaking the law, then yeah, you know, I can see that. But if I'm not going to intentionally do something that I know I'm not supposed to do and then run from the police, you know, it's just not me. It's not who I am. I have no record with the law at all. I have a clean slate. It sounds like someone else pulled in. I hope not, because I want to go up and see my mother today, and I don't want to be blocked in. So those people are going to have to move. They're going to have to move their vehicles.
Getting that deer out.
Yeah, it could have been Dad. Stop it, you boys.
And that's why he wants to go out.
These dogs are, because Dad went back outside and they got to be up Dad's ass constantly 24/7. That's why they, yeah. You're going to go lay down. Now. Lay down. Scruffy. Barkley. Lay down. Get on the couch. Lay down and wait for Daddy to come in. Fucking dogs. I love them, but they're a pain in my butt sometimes. But yeah, everything here is great. Just I've been staying out of trouble and, you know, doing the usual thing. Now, there was something that I mentioned last night before we all went to bed, and I told Amy that I was going to discuss this in today's Sunday video. Dad's not here to give input, but I know Amy is, and that's good enough because it's kind of a woman's thing, you know. Now, it's when I was on Facebook, I really didn't talk about this at all. Actually, I didn't talk about it at all. And I didn't talk about it here in my Sunday video updates, but I was pressed on this issue where my thoughts were, what my opinions were about a subject. It's a delicate subject. It's abortion. Now, when I was younger, when I was a teenager, I never knew what I never knew what it meant. I never knew what abortion was, and it's like, well, what is it? And how I understood it, it was, and forgive me for thinking this way, but this is how I used to think. Okay, these are old thoughts. I thought abortion specifically meant you're killing a baby. That's what I used to think. But after having listened to other people talk about it and hearing it from a woman's perspective and, you know, having rights to her own body and you know, what she's allowed to do, what she should be able to do with her own body, now I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice, which means that I think that it is up to a woman to make those decisions. I don't think a government or anyone should have the right to tell women what to do with their bodies.
No.
I don't think the government in particular should have control over a woman's uterus. Mm-mm. Consent to sex is not consent to pregnancy. And if you get pregnant, there's no law that says you have to remain pregnant, which means that you have a right. And by the way, abortion is not killing a baby, it's a termination of a pregnancy. So it basically what it means is, and this is why I never talk about it, because it's more a woman's issue than a man's issue, in my opinion. I don't have ovaries, so I don't have that discussion. But if I'm going to give my opinion, if you're going to hold my feet to the fire on this particular subject, I think it's up to the woman to make that decision. Do you want to carry on? Do you want to carry the baby to term, or do you want to terminate the pregnancy? I think that's up to the woman. You know, I'm pro-choice on that regard. A baby, like, it would be like if I was on life support, even being a 34-year-old male adult, okay, it doesn't matter which gender I am. Let's say I was on life support, and the only way I could stay alive is by using your body. Now, do you think I would have a right to use your body without your consent? Like, could I, it doesn't matter, you don't have a say-so. Do you think it would be okay for me to filter blood from your body so I can sustain my own life without your consent?
No.
No.
Not unless I'm dead.
Well,
if I'm dead, I can't consent.
Right. But what I'm saying is while we're alive.
No.
If I'm on life support, Amy, if I'm on life support, do you think it would be legally, and we're not even talking morally acceptable, we're going to talk legal, the legality. What I'm saying is, do you think it would be legally acceptable for me to sustain my own life by using your blood as an incubator, so to speak, without your consent? Do I get to hold you against your own will to sustain my life?
No.
There you go. So then you're pro-choice. And I say that because that's just like a fetus. I mean, I don't have to explain the whole situation. Yeah, because it's contingent on a woman's body to sustain itself. Okay, so you give your thoughts on that.
The only way I feel an abortion should be legal to do, and I feel they need to make it.
Well, abortion is legal.
Yes, it is legal. But I feel that legalization should not be for everybody. You got your teenagers out here that are getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay. If that teenager does not want that baby, let her go and deliver that baby. Don't let her see that baby. Remove it right away from her. Place it in foster care and adopt that baby out.
Yeah.
Now, say I'm driving down the road and some hostage takes me,
Mm-hmm.
rapes me.
Yeah.
Then if you feel you want an abortion, because looking at this child for
Mm-hmm.
the rest of your life,
Yeah.
it may have resemblance of the father
Thunder?
that raped you.
Right.
So either abort or do like I said,
Yeah.
have the baby, don't see the baby,
Yeah.
place it in foster care, let the state take it, and give it to somebody who would like it
Yeah.
and raise it
See, and
as
that's
their own.
and that's where we're slightly different in thought. I don't feel
Where me, I had no choice with my kids.
well. The thing about abortion is you're not legally forced to remain pregnant. That's what I was trying to say. There's no law that says you have to remain pregnant.
It's up to you.
Yeah, but so that's where we're slightly different. Like if a woman gets pregnant, I don't feel that she should have to remain pregnant. I don't think she should have to carry the baby to term. You know, there's no law that says you have to remain pregnant. But now, in a situation like you said, like the rape situation, okay, same thing. If you were raped, that means that because rape is it's not consensual. It's an unwilling thing that happens. You're not willing to have sex with a particular individual. You didn't consent to it.
Right.
You shouldn't have to be forced to remain pregnant as a result of a rape.
Right.
So that I do agree. I agree with you
And like
100%.
Okay. You example.
Yeah.
Not saying you'll do it.
Right.
You go out there, you're going hitching rides down the road, and
Yeah.
a woman picks you up.
And if I have sex with her, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't be. I'm not a rapist, but if we had sex,
Yes.
and you know,
And she
didn't want the baby.
didn't want it because this baby is going to have resemblance of maybe your eyes, your
Yeah.
nose, your
Yeah.
hair.
I know, because I'm so bad. It's a hypothetical, by the way, folks. So
It is going to, looking at that baby is going to bring back those memories of what happened
that's thunder.
between you and the mother.
Yeah.
So, either go full term and adopt
Yeah.
out,
Mm-hmm.
or
But
the abortion.
I'm not
But
gonna.
I prefer the adoption myself.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing, well, it kind of takes me back to my old thoughts too. Like, well, you know, if you fuck around and you want to, you know, you get pregnant, those are the consequences should be you should have to carry. But now my thoughts are completely different. I don't think you should have to remain pregnant. You shouldn't have to be forced to stay pregnant.
Right.
It's your body ultimately, because you have this invader in your body, so to speak.
Yeah.
It should be up to you to decide what you want to do, because it's not killing a baby. You're just terminating a pregnancy.
Yeah.
So it should be up to you, because I think it's after so many weeks they consider it I don't know the word.
After
You know more about this than I do, but it's
after you
you know what I mean.
during your first trimester,
Yeah.
the fetus
Yeah.
is about the size of maybe a pea.
Yeah.
Well, then that fetus is growing.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's actually a baby. Before you're 8 weeks along, this baby is
Yeah.
a baby.
Yeah.
You start seeing face features, hands,
Right,
all
right,
this.
right.
And during an ultrasound, say you don't want to keep that baby.
Yeah.
Don't look at that ultrasound.
Yeah.
Tell them, no, thank you. I don't want to see this ultrasound.
I don't want to see the sonogram. Just keep it out of my sight.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. And it is
for sure what I want to do.
Yeah. And it is it's a delicate subject, especially for women who've had miscarriages.
My daughter had one.
Yeah. And I understand if you're a viewer who's had a miscarriage, you know, I know it's a very delicate subject, and I'm not trying to, you know,
open old wounds.
I'm not telling you that you should, and that's for any woman who's listening to this. I don't think you should have to remain pregnant. You should not have to be forced against your own will to remain pregnant. That's all I'm saying. I think a woman has rights to her bodily autonomy. I'm pro-choice. Women should have rights. Now,
they always say women have more rights than men. Is this true?
Well, I mean, in terms of abort, I mean, that is thunder.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Maybe that's why Dad got the deer.
Yeah.
It scared it to him.
I'm of the opinion, okay, I produce the sperm, and this may be a little risque for young viewers, so, you know, you might want to have your children removed out of the room, or don't listen to this, but...
Or if you don't care.
Yeah, it may be...
You want them to hear?
It may be educational, because you're getting thoughts from a female and a male, so this might, you know, it might be educational, it might be interesting. So... That's the truck. So let's say, for example, okay, I'm the person who supplies I'm producing the sperm to get the woman pregnant.
And the wind's picking up.
And so, now say if a woman is pregnant with my child, with my baby or whatever, this is something, I mean, ultimately it would be the woman's decision if she wants to carry the baby to term. Okay, we could have that discussion and say, well, if she says to me, I'm thinking of having an abortion, I'm not ready to have a baby. And although a part of me, because I hear this a lot from guys, a part of me might feel that it's unfair that I don't get a say-so in this because I was the one that impregnated the woman. So a part of me might think that it's unfair that I don't get a say in this because I participated in creating, you know, the procreation of this potentially going to be baby. Ultimately, I have to understand and recognize that it is a woman's body. She can do what she wants with the pregnancy. It's up to her. I have no say in that. All I can say is I can be there to, you know, supply the sperm to impregnate, but I can't, you know, the woman gets the final word. I have no say in that. I can't force her to remain pregnant just because I want to be a father. So I shouldn't have to, you know, I don't feel as if I have a right to force a woman to stay pregnant with my unborn baby. I can't force a woman to stay pregnant and carry the baby to term, because, like I said at the top of this discussion, consent to sex is not consent to pregnancy, and consent to pregnancy does not mean that you have to remain pregnant. It's like,
now, what if it's consent or non-consensual? How would you feel about that?
If it's non-consensual, she has a right. It's up to her, because, as you pointed out, if it's a rape baby, you know, if the pregnancy is the result of rape, that woman has a right to say, I don't want to carry this baby to term.
Right.
I'm pro-choice. Now, in the event that she
kind of like God.
It's like if man, I hate to resort to hypotheticals, but it's probably the only way I can get a point across. It's like if you were raped, but you've always wanted a baby, and you look at it as, well, the rape was awful, but hey, I'm pregnant. I'm going to have a baby. If that's what you choose to carry the baby to term and you want to have the kid, that's totally, ultimately, it's up to you.
Yeah.
But if you say, like you pointed out, and it makes 100% perfect sense to me, this is a product of a rape. I wasn't prepared to have a baby. I was raped. I don't have to remain pregnant. There's no law that says I have to be pregnant. I don't have to remain pregnant. So I'm going to have an abortion. I'm going to terminate the pregnancy. That's like if I get in a car. Stop it. It's like if I get in a car, okay, I'm not consenting to getting in an accident. I assume the risk of getting in an accident. I'm consenting to the risk of getting in an accident, but getting in a car does not mean I'm consenting to being in an accident. I know there's really nothing analogous to sex and pregnancy, but it's kind of like that. Like it's not a fault thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not anyone's fault that a woman gets pregnant, because it's just something that humans do. We reproduce, that kind of thing. But ultimately, I think women have the right.
Sometimes I have my opinion on that one too.
Well, I mean, it's not a fault thing. It's just something we do as human beings.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish I could get pregnant without a man.
Artificial insemination. That's an option.
Quite hard when you're in my situation.
Yeah. And I'm glad that we have these conversations, because our opinions are being, kind of tossed back and forth. So you're pro-choice, okay? If you're raped,
yeah,
you shouldn't have to carry the baby to term. So you're pro-choice. You think, okay.
Yeah, because there are situations where I feel that, yeah, if you want it, go for it.
Yeah.
Then there are situations where I feel, okay.
It just depends. I guess it depends.
Like your nieces.
Yeah.
Unexception for Heidi.
Well, she's my cousin.
Right. But yeah, that's what I meant. Your cousins. On Elaine's side and Tim's side. But they were pretty much consensual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So they wanted a baby.
Right. Which, for that age, I think is kind of stupid.
Yeah, they were. They were young. They were like really young.
They could have been thinking like I thought when I got pregnant with my first son.
Oh, it's like babysitting.
Yes.
Like babysitting. I can just spoil them and
I can babysit all I want.
pass them to their grandparents.
That baby, and that baby is a colicky baby.
And
you don't want no more.
There is no detachment after you have that child. You can't just say, well, mom, dad, push the baby off on the grandparent. Oh, you want, you're their you're their grandpa and grandma. You want all this time with your grandbaby. Here you go.
Yeah.
No, that's where you have to take on responsibility. And about that too, like I said, pregnancy is not a fault thing. It's a responsibility thing, because you have to be responsible. Now, like say for example, if
can you afford that? Maybe.
What if the contraceptive doesn't work?
Yeah.
What if you had taken every precaution to prevent pregnancy?
Yeah, because I do know someone that was using a condom.
And the condom broke?
No, it had a pinhole.
Oh, a pinhole in it.
Just small enough to where no one could see it.
Yeah.
And boom, they end up pregnant.
So there's my that's where I stand on abortion. My thought processes have completely changed. I'm pro-choice. I think it's up to the woman.
It's up to that woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
If she keeps that baby, even though that condom broke, or got a pinhole in it.
Yeah. For whatever the reason may be, it's not just a broken or a what do you call that? A ripping a condom. I can't think of the word. Yeah, I can't think of the word.
It wasn't made right. They did something wrong.
It was.
It wasn't our fault. We ended up pregnant.
Yeah. Because that is possible. You can use every possible avenue in terms of contraceptives and still get pregnant.
Women can use the pill.
Yeah.
All they got to do is flush it down the toilet or put it down the sink drain.
Yep.
Parents don't know.
Yeah, put it under the tongue.
Yep.
Make it look like you took it and then spit it out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was always down the toilet or down the sink.
You know, I mean...
And then at the age of 17, boom.
And then there's a thing called an intrauterine or an IUD where you can have sex and not get pregnant.
But then you can pull that out in 5 years if you decide.
Yeah, you can remove that. Yeah, you can remove it, but I think my cousin had an intrauterine installed.
I had up here in the arm 6 rods.
Yeah.
And it was a birth control.
Yeah.
And it's called the Norplant.
Yeah.
And I had complications on it.
So all you people who are saying that abortion is the equivalent of murder, no, it's not.
No.
No, it's not. It's a termination of a pregnancy. It's not even remotely the same thing as murder.
Nope.
Sorry. Not sorry.
I do know a lot of people do end up calling it murder.
Yeah, well.
No.
It's not murder. It's termination of a pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I am pro-choice.
Well, that's like you said about miscarriages.
Yeah.
Does that woman plan that miscarriage?
Mm-mm. I don't necessarily think so.
Is she literally harming herself so that it terminates that pregnancy?
It could. Yeah, you make a good point. So you make a good point because stop it.
Because all you got to do is fall forward and fall on that belly, and there goes that baby.
Yeah, yeah. You make a good point.
You know.
Is she deliberately trying to have a miscarriage?
Yeah.
To avoid the stigma of an abortion.
Or you lift. Doctor says you can't lift anything over 5 pounds, so you go out there and lift something that's 20 pounds. That's kind of like your own fault. You're terminating your baby.
Yeah, you're doing it in a different... Yeah.
Instead of going to the doctor and having it terminated that way.
But I know lots of people, like you said, I know lots of women who have miscarriages and they were not planned. They wanted to have a baby.
I know. My daughter did.
Yeah. So this is not a shot at women who have miscarriage. We're not saying that you intentionally would. It's not intentional. It's just, you know, there's women who want children and can't have children. My aunt Rhonda had a miscarriage. My cousin David and his wife, they had a miscarriage. Because I asked David about that yesterday. I said, well, I thought there were 5. I thought you had 5 children. She says, well, we had, you know, of course we had the 4, but we had a miscarriage. It's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, you know, and they're not doing anything they're not supposed to be doing in order for that to happen. So, like I said, it's not saying that miscarriage, it's not, unless you're one of my cousins who was a drug addict and, has had several miscarriages. It's not always intentional. There's no, you know, if you're doing everything you're supposed to do, you eat the right stuff, you don't, like you said, you're not lifting anything heavy, you're following all the doctor's orders, you're just doing what you're supposed to do to help the fetus grow or whatever. You're not.
And honestly, when you're pregnant, you don't have to eat certain foods.
True.
Eat whatever.
Right.
As long as the baby likes it.
My mom had some very strange cravings when she was pregnant for myself and my brother.
I got stared at walking down 21 when I was pregnant. My son got a winner eating an ice cream cone. That Superman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite.
But the thing about miscarriage, it's a difficult thing. Like, I know lots of women who've had miscarriages and it damn near killed them because they wanted so badly to have a baby. They wanted to have a child. Yeah.
And then eventually she just come out and says to herself, it must have been something God had planned.
Well.
And that's because she was grown into the Christian.
Yeah. Yeah, that's thunder.
That thunder.
That's thunder.
I know.
I didn't think it was.
Dad hanging up that deer.
Yeah, I didn't think it was warm enough for a thunderstorm. I guess it is apparently because that thunder is roaring.
Rain and snow today is what I heard.
They were getting a rain-snow mix up there where my mom lives. So to kind of put that topic to bed, miscarriage is not a fault thing. Not as far as I can tell. Because I don't think it's necessarily always planned. No. Like you have women who have, drug and alcohol problems or whatever, which results in like my cousin, she had that issue, but overwhelmingly, I don't think miscarriages are planned.
If you noticed, the thing they did with her,
yeah,
is they had her go full term with a baby.
Yeah.
And then they took that baby away.
Yeah.
Well, now she's had another one.
Yeah.
Or expecting another one.
Yeah.
And like I said, there are states that don't push the issue of adoption.
Yeah. Although they're making money.
Yeah.
They're making money.
Now here in Michigan, some places, they'd rather have your kids out there for adoption.
Yeah. I mean, and I know there's lots of people who are watching this and potentially, there may be women who've had miscarriages. And I'm not in any way saying that your miscarriage was intentional, and I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea.
No,
because miscarriage is awful. The thing about pregnant, and one of the major things about why I say I'm pro-choice.
Here it comes.
Wow, it's really raining. In regards to abortion is because pregnancy changes your fucking body. Yeah. It permanently changes you forever. Your a woman's body goes through so many changes.
Here comes the rain.
Damn. It's really rumbling out there.
Yeah.
I hope our power doesn't get knocked out.
They're saying it might. Coffee.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts on abortion. I'm pro-choice, and
Black or cream?
Black. I'm not saying that miscarriages in any way, shape, or form planned.
Satellite.
Well, yeah, it's raining.
Oh, it's snow and rain.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. Snow and rain. We gotta help.
Holy fuck, it's coming down out there.
Oh, lightning.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Fuck. Fucking hell.
That thunder is loud.
Yeah, so is that lightning bright.
Your well house came uncovered.
The well house come uncovered.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, I should probably end the Sunday video because we got a strong thunderstorm coming over right now.
Stay.
I didn't think it was supposed to storm like this today. That's insane. That is insane. The weather outside is frightful.
And not delightful.
Wow. Oh, it's slowing down. This Michigan weather, I'm telling you, Michigan weather is fucking bizarre. It is nuts. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up before we lose our electricity.
I know, I was watching the news at my mom yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, Friday.
Yeah.
And they were predicting snow and rain mix.
But I wasn't expecting thunder and lightning with it.
No.
Thunder, snow. Just like I said, just like I tell all my out-of-state friends, we have thunder snow. Where we have thunder and lightning with snow. Barkley, you're not going outside, so get in here now. You heard what I said. Don't act like you don't hear me.
You won't even go out.
It's bad out there anyway right now. But anyway, guys, so I guess that's it for this week's Sunday video update. I don't know how long I've been here because there's no counter. So I don't know how long I've been here. Probably an hour at least. But anyway, I don't know. Amy, did you have any final thoughts? Anything you wanted to say? With occasional visits from Dad coming in and out.
All I can say is peace out, be safe.
Peace out, be safe.
Protect yourself against the COVID.
Protect yourself against the COVID and the thunder.
And peace out, have a good day.
It's really fucking rumbling out there. Whew. But anyway, guys, my final words. Last week was great. I hope this week will be just as great. And so tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow, 21 years that I've been writing journals. It's going to be something I'll commemorate. I'll probably just write a really long entry, or I'll just say, it's 21 years I've been a writer, keeping a journal. Really nothing extravagant, not to anybody else, but it is to me. It's a big deal.
You've been writing since you were what, 2?
13. 2? I can't even tie my shoe when I was 2 years old.
Hey, you never know.
Oh, I wasn't tying my shoe. I was fighting cancer when I was 2 years old. But I've been writing since I was 13, so it's only been 21 years.
Oh.
But anyway...
Tell everybody you've been writing since you were 2.
No. Not since writing since I was 2. I had cancer when I was 2. But I'll probably just hang out here at the house, or... I don't know. I'll probably go for a ride if the weather is cooperative. But anyway, thank you so much for watching another installment of the Sunday video update. I'll be back on November 22nd. My math is getting better and better. Much love to all of you. Thank you for watching. Keep it tuned right here to my channel for more random content. I had written a poem called The Thunder Rolls. No. No, it's called It's called Cold Beer and Great Poetry. That's the poem I had written. So I'll get that poem video up for all of you for your viewing pleasure, and who knows what else I'm going to add to the to my channel. There's all kinds of random content. But anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you for watching. Have a good week. Have a good day, and peace out.